Okay, greetings everyone, and welcome to the third edition of 360-degree Perspectives. What we've been trying to do here is look at what we're calling Risk Management 360, a broad approach at looking at the risks that low-income people face and working on figuring out ways in which we can help them to manage these risks as well as take insurance. And what we want to do today is have a focus on gender issues and RM360. And who could we invite better than Farzana Chowdhury, our good friend at Green Delta in Bangladesh. Such a super delightful person. Every time I've met her over the years, she's always full of ideas and really has super impressed me on her focus in helping women to manage the risks that they have and really taking a broad perspective, even as the CEO of an insurance company, thinking about the other issues that people have. And so really fits very nicely into the 360-degree perspectives. And Farzana, do you want to talk a little bit about yourself in Green Delta and really what has motivated you into doing all this?
Thank you, Michael, for inviting me here. And I'm Farzana Chowdhury. I'm the Managing Director and CEO of Green Delta Insurance Company. That is the largest non-life insurance company in Bangladesh. And I'm the first female CEO in this. So as you can see that what has inspired me to kind of push the women agenda is because women participation was less in this industry, and we have been working in this industry for last 34 years, and before that I was in the banking sector and also worked in the microfinance company, and so I have a kind of a diverse work experience that has inspired me to work in the insurance sector, bringing in more disruptive solutions that would increase the penetration in the market. And we have 4 subsidiaries, and one in the healthcare, one in the training, and 2 in the capital market. And so we have created an integrated financial service platform for our customers. And for women, that is a more, I would say, integrated platform where not only the insurance service, but also, as you mentioned, the 360-degree, we facilitate service, the value-added services for women that would help her in all her daily life and also improving the livelihood.
Excellent. I love the idea of creating a team that is both happy doing what they're doing because you've created the environment for that, but also that it's very diverse and you've brought in people from different industries, different understandings, of course, gender, and getting those ideas together helps you to be much more open to new ideas and to get new ideas from your staff. And it's clear in the work that you've been doing. So RM360 is a way of looking at issues that clients have. We all recognize, as we've said in past editions, that even if you have the best insurance that ever was, you still don't want your husband to die. You still don't want your crops to die, your cow to die, your children to go to the hospital. And so what we're trying to do in RM360 is to take a look at all those things that we can do, because we can't do everything, but what can we do to help people mitigate those risks so there's less chance that they'll have these events, these risk events in which we will pay claims. This helps keep people healthier and more stable. And it also should theoretically reduce the costs of insurance because the risk has been reduced. And here, especially in this session, we want to talk about gender equality and women's empowerment. And because a lot of the insurance issues that we've focused on in our work, all of us. We may try to assist the women, but only in terms of after the event and providing them with maybe some financial benefits. But how do we help them? And women in particular, because women have particular needs, how do we help them to mitigate those risks? And so in this episode, we want to talk with Farzana and look at how Green Delta has been a proponent of RM360 and women's empowerment, the kind of linkage between the two. And so, Farzana, let's get right into it. Let me ask, what do women want from insurance? We'll look at the insurance part first. What do women want in insurance? And then how is that different than what men want?
Absolutely. Because men and women, they think differently, of course, because we're different, differently built and we have different mindset. But women think in a more holistic manner, because I'm a woman. So when they're thinking in insurance, what they feel they need social security, they need financial security, they need help, not only for herself, but for her surrounding. And the surrounding is their family, the children, the spouse. And in Bangladesh, what happens, we feel, the women, they have either their in-laws staying with them or their parents staying with them. So when they think about the social surrounding around them. So for that, the product needs to be designed in such a way that address the issues and create a solution that can solve their problems. That is access to finance, access to insurance, access to security, access to healthcare, access to independence. And independence, what I meant is making decisions independently. So these are the areas, and of course, training and counseling in one area that women feels that they need to get more educated, more trained, so that they can take better decisions. So this is what we kind over the years we found out. Women are more focused in whatever they're doing, and they think that the product should be more simple. It's more accessible, it's understandable, and it will bring in transparent results, meaning that can help you in taking decisions. It doesn't mean that whenever insurance is there to support, but taking this insurance policy will open the doors for her to take to be more independent and to be more, I would say, powerful in the sense it's empowered that she's engaged with so many other network that can really help her in improving the livelihood, not only for herself, but also for her family and surrounding.
I remember from years ago when I was doing microfinance in East Africa mostly, and one of the things that I learned is that in the family, economically, there's a different strategy that men take from women. And the women have a much more immediate need in their economic activities, and it forces them really to think in a different way. And so I think it's very interesting. And I think I agree with you. We have to start thinking more or understanding more about how women think differently. And so now we have products for health and we have products for life. Can you tell me about some of the things that that Green Delta does in terms of RM360? I remember one of the first times I met you, you told me about the Nivedita program. And I'll never forget what you told me about the button that people have, or so maybe you can tell us about how Green Delta embeds this RM360 perspective within the work you do.
Thank you. Nivedita is actually is a revolutionary product. When it started, it's just started with this policy, the comprehensive policy. But then we found out women didn't want to come and tell her story because she's not feels secured, or she doesn't feel that she would come and tell her story and people will listen. Then we eventually we had to involve women in designing the product, because like I said, women think differently. So when you design a product, you need to understand how and what women think about getting a solution from an insurance company. So what we did, we created a platform, an online platform. It's an app. It's a women insurance policy app. If you take the policy, the app will give you access to a lot of networks, access to banks for loans, access to information, access to healthcare, access to lifestyle, access to training, and security. Because people in Bangladesh, women travel alone and they come home late. And in the Asian region, there is a security issue. And this really kind of helped women to, take this policy, because if you hit that panic button, you get help from a security company in 15 to 20 minutes. And that's, the message is sent to her family members and to us and the security company. So everyone knows she needs help. And it really worked. And we felt that I just wanted to give you an example, that a factory worker took a policy, a Nivedita policy that was like, okay, she knows, okay, it's 100,000 taka policy that will give benefit to her when she, meet an accident. And she, while working, she lost her eyesight, one of her eye, and she got the claim. And with her claim, she couldn't work out. She worked in the factory. She started a tea stall. And one of those days, some boys came and tried to attack her, and she pressed the panic button. People, she was saved. And then with our help, and of course, she got a bank loan. And now she has started a business with her friends, and now she's an entrepreneur.
One of the things that we always do, I always say, and we always do, start microinsurance projects understanding people. So it's always clients or potential clients that we always want to talk to first and get an understanding about what they need. We always go out looking at in three general areas, right? We look at what risks do you face, how do you face them, and what gaps are there in your methodologies. And so we do focus groups, and we'll separate men from women so we can get an opportunity for women to talk. But one of the things that I always find challenging is, you can get, or women can say, I need health insurance because my children get sick. But what do you do when you're thinking about RM360? What do you do, Farzana, to get women to tell you about those things that are beyond just the insurance, but that those things that are sensitive? So just as an example, if you go back to think about the emergency button, how did you get women to tell you, the problem I have is that I worry when I'm on the streets that someone is going to attack me? How do you get people to talk about those issues that then can be mechanisms to satisfy RM360?
One of the things we have found out is by engaging with them more frequently. And the other one is like technology. Having a smartphone, and it says everything that you want to buy this policy, this gives you this, and she doesn't need to call her husband to say yes. So technology brought in independence. And and it's a step-by-step process. When they took the policy and they found out all these value-added services, and we're not charging anything for that. It's like kind of more promoting and also the awareness of insurance, right? So they think, okay, it's like getting, it's like opening of a door by taking this policy. So they didn't understand first the benefit of insurance. They understood that people are with them. So this is something that helped us, that the apps brings in all the services together. So she sees whatever she needs, because every woman is different, right? So, and our needs are different. And one needs health and one needs, factory insurance, or one need some other insurance. So when they know that they have got all the areas, and the trainings have really helped. And I think by following, I mean, I was really super excited when I saw this RM360. It's a kind of a more, it talks about more holistically. And what we are doing in our, of course, we're doing it, but following it in a more structured manner will help Nivedita grow in a better way.
Farzana, do you have any advice for microinsurers in the context of RM360 and gender? What should others be thinking?
I would say it's a very exciting proposition that RM360 degree has, and every microinsurers to embrace this and believe in women, believe in women's ability, believe in women's capability and what they can, bring you, and I mean, what they can really kind of do in terms of growing business, and also help women by designing a product, engaging them. You have to engage women to develop their products. So you need to think like a woman when you're designing a product. So microinsurers should be benefited. Like I said, we are not making a loss. It's like create positive investment in the initial years that will give you the results. So I think all microinsurers should come forward, and I think to make women understand risk management better, I think this is the best process that we can follow. And I'm pretty excited. And I think we can also, although we are following most of the things that you are doing, but I think in a more structured manner, if we follow this, I think we can do better, and we can empower women better and change their livelihood in a better way.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Farzana. And the women and the people of Bangladesh are very lucky to have you at the helm at Green Delta, making this better opportunities, better risk management, and good insurance for these low-income women. And so, it's been a thrill for me to have had this opportunity to engage with you over this topic in this session. And I thank you so much, not only for the time you've given me, but for the great things that you do, not only for Bangladesh, but the example that you set for all of us.